Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a really practical plan for spiritual growth, and it all centers on something we use every single day, our mouth. We're going to see how what we say and even what we eat and drink is deeply connected to finding real freedom in our hearts.
Okay, let's just jump right in with this powerhouse of a quote from the letter of James. What he's saying here is huge, that if you can get control of your words, you're showing incredible spiritual maturity. It's a bold claim, right? And it tells us that this isn't some minor thing. Guarding our mouth is right at the center of a holy life.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with the power of our words, then get into the why behind this whole practice. After that, we'll break down a daily plan, see what help is available, and finally discover how this all leads to true freedom.
All right, first up, let's really unpack that idea of becoming a perfect man and get a handle on the surprising and kind of intense power that Scripture says our tongue has.
You know, the imagery from St. James is just so vivid. He's not messing around. He compares the tongue to a tiny spark that can burn down an entire forest. The message couldn't be clearer. Getting a grip on our words isn't just a small tweak. It's a discipline that can literally change the direction of our entire spiritual life.
So what's the real reason for doing this? Is it just about being quiet or trying to be polite? Nope, not at all. The whole point of this practice is something much, much deeper. What's called the custody of the heart.
See, the end goal here isn't just to have self-control just because. It's about pointing our inner world, all our desires, our appetites, our impulses, back toward God. By guarding the mouth, which is like the gateway, we're really protecting the heart. We're making space in there for real love, real prayer, and real freedom.
Okay, now we're getting to the core of it all. Let's look at a threefold guard that takes all this theology and turns it into a concrete, doable, daily plan.
What's so cool about this is that it connects three different parts of our life into one single discipline. It brings together our words, our food, and our drink, showing how they all work together.
So, guard number 1 starts the second you wake up. It's this simple but incredibly powerful prayer from the Psalms. Lord, set a guard over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Just by doing that, you're dedicating all the words you're going to say that day to God before you've even said them.
And for the rest of the day, you've got this amazing tool, the Rule of 3. Before you say something, you quickly run it through 3 little gates in your mind. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it charitable? And if the answer to any of those is no, the rule is you just stay quiet. It's such a powerful filter.
All right, let's move on to the second guard. This one shifts from our words to our relationship with food. And the guide is super clear about this. This is not about punishing your body or some kind of obsessive diet. The goal is spiritual mastery over our appetites. Now, this is a really important distinction. The idea is to eat slowly, be mindful, and stop when you feel satisfied, nourished. We all know that other feeling, right? The feeling of being full or even stuffed. That's usually a sign we're eating for other reasons, like comfort or just to distract ourselves.
And check out how a tiny little act can have a huge spiritual effect. Just by pausing after you eat and saying thank you, you completely reframe the act of eating. It's not just about consuming anymore, it's about gratitude to God. That simple act gets right to the root of a mindless appetite.
And finally, the third guard. And this isn't just about alcohol. It's about any drink we use for something other than just hydration. Could be sugary sodas, too much caffeine, anything we grab to kind of change how we're feeling.
So this is the key question you got to ask yourself in that moment. Am I looking for refreshment or am I looking for relief? Am I having this drink for simple enjoyment or am I using it to numb out, to escape a feeling I don't like, or maybe even to put off praying? That little pause for self-awareness is everything.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot, and it is. But the good news is you're not meant to do this all on your own. The church gives us some really powerful sources of grace to help us out. Think of these 2 sacraments as the pillars of your support system. Confession is where you go to hit the reset button when you mess up, and let's be real, you're gonna mess up. And then the Eucharist, that's like the ultimate spiritual medicine. It's the true bread that actually heals our disordered desires from the inside out. And to keep this whole thing moving forward, the day ends with a quick 5-minute check-in. Just ask yourself, did my words today build people up or tear them down? Did I eat with gratitude or just to escape? This simple review helps you see where you're growing and where you need to focus tomorrow. So, after all this daily work, the praying, the filtering, the mindful eating, the nightly reflection, what's the point? What's the spiritual payoff? Where is all this actually leading?
Well, the goal isn't to feel restricted. It's the total opposite. It's about a huge expansion of the heart. When you quiet down all that interior noise, you can actually start to love more purely, to suffer in a way that's fruitful, to pray better, and maybe most importantly, to listen more deeply to God's voice.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the paradox of the whole thing. All this strict-sounding discipline isn't about being controlled. It's about gaining the kind of interior freedom and pure heart that the Beatitudes say you need to see God. So how do you even start? The advice here is awesome. Don't try to do it all at once. That's just a recipe for getting discouraged. Instead, just pick one little thing. Maybe tomorrow morning, all you do is pray that morning offering. Or maybe you just try to use the rule of 3 in one conversation. Start small. Because this is really the bottom line. What comes out of our mouth is a direct window into what's going on in our heart. So when you start to discipline the outside, you begin the deep, important work of healing and freeing the inside.
Let's end with the simple prayer that finishes that daily reflection. It's really the perfect summary for this whole journey. It's an admission that our own efforts aren't enough and that the real goal is to have our hearts changed to be more like Christ's. And as we've seen, that's a journey that can start with the simple, powerful act of guarding our mouth.